If wanting marriage and being mindful and simply caring about what men find attractive makes you a pick-me, then I'm the biggest pick-me in the game. Lock me up. Send me to pick-me prison. Pick-me purgatory. Oh, wait. Nothing bad happens to you if someone calls you a pick-me, other than other women judging you. And that's the key here. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and I run the blog called Mrs.Midwest. So I was ruminating, blogging, journaling about this video topic today, and then my sons so happened to start taking their nap at the exact same time. So I thought, why not hop onto a video and just, while I'm passionate about this, just make a video and share my thoughts and get through this. So I just have to say to the world, to the internet, that wanting marriage, wanting to be married, and caring what men find attractive does not make you a pick-me girl. Now, you may not know what I'm talking about, but I will explain it to you all. We are gonna get down, but that is the topic for today's video. So thank you for tuning in. Let's get started. So what is a pick-me girl? Well, it's this phrase that's kind of come up since I've taken a large YouTube hiatus, to have my babies and do my thing. But being a pick-me girl it's a form of an insult that is being slung around the internet at women, usually from other women, implying that that girl either cares too much what men think, she's desperate for male attention, and it essentially like makes connotations of the concept of someone being like, pick me, pick me, pick me. And I think it started at a good place. You know, I think this concept of calling someone a pick-me girl was essentially coming from a place of, well, we shouldn't change ourselves just to get into a relationship, or we shouldn't settle for someone who treats us horribly just to have a man. You know, you don't want to be a pick-me girl, you know, someone who is so desperate to get attention, she acts a fool or just obsesses about men. And I can get behind a lot of that. I can. But unfortunately, as with most things online, this has gone to an extreme. Now I've been seeing people use this as an insult, particularly to people in our community, the femininity community, traditional homemaking community, people who want to get married. That's what I talk about online, those three topics. And my audience is vulnerable for being called this insult online, and it kind of upsets me. Like, I feel like a mad big sister right now, that anyone who is in my community could be called this and feel bad about themselves for wanting perfectly normal things like getting married, finding a husband, caring what men think. Like, oh, I just have so many thoughts. So essentially that's what that means. It's intended to be an insult towards women who are desperate for male attention. But now it's overlapping into anyone who even cares a little bit about maybe making themselves more appealing for men, how to attract better quality men, how to attract a man in general if you have no idea what you're doing. And now it's kind of seeming like in order to not be a pick-me girl, you have to be someone who openly says you don't care what men think about you, you don't care about marriage, you don't even want marriage, you're not going to change yourself for a man at all. And I think people are confusing a confident, independent woman who's not going to allow herself to be treated cruelly with something else, that it's turning into almost this fake bravado in women, where now instead of us all getting together like in the olden days and chit-chatting about men and wanting to do this, now we're feeling ashamed for doing that stuff. Like we're being made to feel embarrassed at this point for just being women, for being interested in marriage, for being interested in what men think about us. You're not a pick-me girl for caring about what men find attractive. Wanting marriage and caring about what men think of you doesn't make you a pick-me girl. It's misogynistic to say that to women, because a woman's goals shouldn't only matter and be valued and respected when they're traditionally masculine goals, i.e. a career, or becoming an entrepreneur, making a lot of money, being like this, they always say bad A or whatever. I don't want to get censored on YouTube, but bad A, you know, this hardcore woman. And cool, Do you if that's what you want, but don't force everybody into that mold. I say this all the time in my videos and people get confused. They take my message and they twist it and they make it seem like I think everybody should be a homemaker. I think every woman wants marriage and kids. I don't think that, but I am here online to stand up for those women because not many people are. Not many people are standing up for those women who their desire is to be a wife and a mother. And it's okay if that's your goal. I've been saying that for years online. It is okay. And you shouldn't have to be afraid, say you're making content online or you're watching content about how to upgrade your style or your beauty, how to do better on dates, how to attract more men. You shouldn't have to feel guilty in the back of your mind feeling like, oh, am I a desperate pick-me because I care? No, you're not. You're normal. Women shouldn't be made to feel ashamed for being women. If wanting marriage and being mindful and simply caring about what men find attractive makes you a pick-me, then I'm the biggest pick-me in the game. Lock me up. Send me to pick-me prison, pick-me purgatory. Oh, wait. Nothing bad happens to you if someone calls you a pick-me other than other women judging you. And that's the key here. Other women are judging women for what they're interested in life, okay? I think it's fine to encourage our sisters to not settle for terrible men, to not be this desperate fool trying to get attention. And yes, there is this connotation of a pick-me girl being a person who puts down other women in order to get attention from men. Like those girls who you're at a Super Bowl watch party and she knows like all of the sports players and she makes fun of the other women for not knowing or whatever. But how is it different to make fun of women or be cruel or rude to them, especially online, for wanting marriage or a husband or a boyfriend? That's just as bad as the pick-me girl who puts down women for not being like tomboyish enough, if you get what I mean. It's all bad. And what I'm trying to say is that it's not okay. It's not okay to make fun of women for these super normal, run-of-the-mill desires that they have. I am the first to tell everybody I've always wanted to be married. That was my number one goal in life. Growing up, I just imagined being a wife and not necessarily a mother, but definitely a wife. And I didn't really care about what career I ended up doing. Like I thought maybe I'll have to make money, maybe I'll stay home someday. But being a wife was my number one goal. And yes, I achieved that. I got picked. And partially because I pursued that goal. I was open about it. I dated and I was interested in what men found attractive. And there's nothing wrong with that. It helped me achieve my goal. And I'm so fulfilled and satisfied in my life. And that's what I'm trying to get across. Not every single woman is going to feel satisfied in these other goals like career or education, travel, money, fame. Some people will. For others, it could be becoming a wife, becoming a mother, having a family. To have a family, you need your man, okay? And in order to achieve those goals, it's helpful to learn about how to have better prospects in dating. It's helpful to learn what men find attractive. It's helpful to be honest with yourself and not ashamed and say, yes, becoming a wife is a goal in my life. Why can't we as women be open and honest about the fact that we're normal humans? Being a wife isn't about being picked. It's not about being chosen just for the attention because we're some desperate loser who just needs a man to fulfill us. That's not what it is. It's a desire for human connection and intimacy, lifelong companionship. It's a vulnerable desire to admit that you do want to be a wife. And I think there's an element of that too, where sometimes women feel like they can't share that desire because not everybody is going to get married. Not everybody is going to meet the love of their life, And so it's vulnerable. But you know what else? Not everybody is going to make those stacks of cash they set out for. Not everyone is going to end up in their dream career. A lot of us are just going to end up in jobs. A lot of people in general don't meet their goals, and a lot of people do. But one of the best ways to achieve your goal is to be honest about it. And really what I'm just encouraging you guys in this video is just, it's okay if being a mother or a wife or married or having a family is what's going to fulfill you in life. It's also okay to be mindful and care about what men find attractive. I've seen this insult thrown around a lot, like in comments, especially on TikTok, where it's like, did he choose you, sis? Did he pick you? So it's like a woman's like living her life doing, maybe her homemaking thing or her fashion thing or trying to make herself look good. And people will be like, did he choose you? As if everything we do in life is to be picked by a man, like deemed worthy of a man's affection. And it's just such a twisted view of marriage and relationships. My relationship and marriage with my husband is so much deeper than me being picked by this male and I get to be his wife and bear his children. No, he's my best friend. He's my life companion. He's my family. I'm building a family. It's not about my desperate need for attention. Do I get attention from my husband? Yes. Do I feel fulfilled in my marriage and relationship with him? Yes. And that's normal. It's normal to want connection. And also, I think there's a lot of hurt people out there. People who have had their hearts broken by men or even their fathers or ex-boyfriends or whatever. And the response is to just kind of come at it from a perspective of, I don't care what men think at all, and I don't want marriage and I want nothing to do with them. But that's not healthy either. I think it's good to strike a balance, as with everything. Like, I feel like that's the most common theme on my channel. How can we find balance? It's better to strike a balance where we're not shaming people for caring about being attractive or wanting to be married someday, but we're also not going to force ourselves to get married to someone that doesn't suit us or isn't compatible with us or is mean and horrible just to get picked. It's just frustrating too, because it's mostly women using this insult against other women. And that's where this whole mindset falls apart, because it's all about women supporting women. Yes, girl, go do your thing. Until it's like, oh wait, no, don't do that thing. If that's your thing, if finding a husband and being a homemaker is your thing, I don't kind of support that. So women supporting other women who are just like themselves. And it's just tired. Like, that's not it. That's not what we need to be putting our energy into. Tearing down other women simply for wanting to look desirable to men or for trying to attract a husband is just, it's just embarrassing, honestly. Like, why are we tearing down people for trying to find connection in this world and build families? Absolutely, if someone's main goal in life is just to get as much attention as possible, steal other people's boyfriends, like walk down the street and just have men chasing after them to fulfill some sort of inner wound, that's absolutely not what I'm talking about. That's a problem, and I do think we should address that. But when you think about it, is calling that person a pick-me going to help them with their deep-seated insecurities that make them act that way? No. Where is the compassion? Where is the women supporting women? Like, it's just, people act that way for a reason, and insulting them and shaming them isn't going to improve their life. Wanting marriage is not the same as wanting a man's attention just to validate your deep-seated insecurities. Do people approach marriage from that perspective? Absolutely. But is every woman, or even most women who want a husband or a family, coming at it from this evil little selfish perspective of, I just want him to pay attention to me because I have wounds? No. We want marriage, we want family, and that's okay. And let me just remind you, we're doing the picking. Like, even the women, you know, those of us where our goal is being the wife, being the mother, caring about what men find attractive, we're doing the picking. We're not just waiting for some rando to come and scoop us up. Like, we are making the decision about who we're gonna marry. We have agency. I don't like to see people put women down so far that they act like we don't even have agency over who we're marrying or what we're doing. We're not little children. Having a desire for a husband is not a childish thing. It's a huge responsibility to enter marriage and to make lifelong vows and commitment. It's not child's play, and it's not about wanting attention for a day. Let me just say too, caring about what men find attractive, like if I made more videos about how to attract more great guys or how to look more attractive when you're dating, blah, 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 I'm sure people would be like, oh, did he pick you? Oh. And I would say, you know what? My goal in making these videos is helping my audience have as many opportunities as possible to attract a great guy so they can pick him. Like I said, we're doing the picking, not them. And the reality is, it's just like any goal. If you were setting out to make a lot of money or have a career, you would need to train for that. You would need to make sure you're best set up to achieve that goal. You would need to make sure you know what you're dealing with. And that's what dating videos are. A lot of us aren't brought up in families where our parents had this incredible marriage, or we didn't grow up around in social situations where we learned how to develop all the social skills, or learned how to do our hair and makeup, or learned how to dress ourselves in an appealing way. And it's okay to go online to learn about that stuff. It's okay to want to be chosen. That is a human desire most people have. Watching videos online, reading books about how to better increase your attractiveness to the opposite gender, how to do better on dates, how to get more dates, how to get like better quality dates, does not make you a pick-me. It just makes you a person who knows what they want in life. And most of us aren't just gonna have husbands fall out of papaya trees onto our front yard and here we are, we got married. I get questions constantly about how to lock down a guy, how to meet a guy. I get questions from men. How do I find women like you guys? It's hard out there, and we're simply trying to help each other achieve the goal of finding that life partner. And yes, it does start with being attractive, but it's so much more than that. And it's okay to have those desires. It's okay to make that one of your goals. Maybe you'll achieve it, maybe you won't, but it doesn't hurt to try. It's better to try to achieve these things that will fulfill you someday than to just pretend like you didn't want it in the first place and then be filled with regret at the end of your life. I always wanted to be a wife. Did that mean I married the first guy who we kind of talked about marriage with? No. I waited until I was truly in love with somebody. I waited until I had found that man that just everything made sense. And yeah, I chose him and he chose me, and it is so much deeper. It is so much deeper than just a shallow desire for attention. We don't make fun of people for saying their other goals, like, I want to make a lot of money someday, or I want a really good career, or I want to achieve this. I want to have kids someday. Okay, I want to get married and have a husband. Suddenly, oh, that person's desperate because they admitted the human condition that most of us have, which is that we want companionship and true intimacy and vulnerability. People act like you can be fulfilled in other relationships the way you can in a marriage. And to a certain extent, that's true. But we can't ignore the fact that marriage is special. Committing to building a family and being with someone for your entire life, and adding on top of that passionate physical connection, friendship, romantic love, all the time you spend together, having children together, combining your families together, whatever you're doing, that is a very specific and complex human experience that you can't replicate in a friendship or in a parent-child relationship. It's exclusive and special to marriage. And I think a lot of people are scared that they won't achieve that marriage or that lifelong commitment, and that makes them sad. And so there's like this, we're all pretending that marriage isn't special. It's not something that we should desire. And that's just not true. Yes, it's sad that not all of us are going to get married. Yes, it's sad that not all of us are going to find that partner. But that doesn't mean we need to downplay how special and desirable being married is. It's okay if that is your goal. Like I said, it's better to shoot for that, give it your best shot, than to find out at the end of your life that you knew deep down all the whole time that you did kind of desire that, but you didn't want to put yourself out there for fear that it wouldn't happen. Well, it didn't happen anyways, okay? So I do think some people stumble into marriages. I do think some people stumble into the love of their life. But I think a lot of us need to kind of focus on that as a goal, and focus on dating, and focus on leveling up and bettering ourselves to be more attractive and appealing so we have better options. And there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make you a pick-me, and you don't need to feel insecure. You don't need to feel insulted even, and you don't need to feel like you need to hide your goals and desires. Now, if you are a woman like what I described earlier, a genuine pick-me, a girl who would just change herself for an iota of male attention, or even put down other women for an iota of male attention, I don't know why you behave that way, but I just want to extend my love and tell you that that's not the way. That's not it. You're not going to be fulfilled long-term with that behavior. And there are ways to grow your confidence without looking to men to tell you how much your value is. Because that's at the end of the day what a lot of us fall into. We look to men to show us, how valuable are we? How pretty am I? If that really cute guy over there gives me attention, that means I'm worth this much, you know? And that's just not true. We are all valuable. You may not believe this, but I do 100%, that we are all valuable in the eyes of God. We're made in the image of God. We're his image bearers. And you can be fulfilled without a man. Absolutely. The modern society telling us that, they're not wrong, but that doesn't mean it's wrong or weird or silly to want a man in your life. Because like I said, a marriage is so much deeper than just being picked for attention. And you're not a fool, and you don't need to be embarrassed, and it's okay to desire these things. I feel like that just sums up my entire YouTube channel and career online, if I'm being honest. So yes, oh, I feel so good getting that out, and the babies are still sleeping. What is this? That's the nice thing about a small house. If you're about to have children, just know I actually think a small house can sometimes be nicer because I'm like right here and I can hear them at all times. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in more of this kind of content, I have videos about very similar things, as well as how to become a homemaker, how to attract better men, I think. And if not, I should make that video. But in general, I hope you have a beautiful week. Please like this video before clicking off. It does help the algorithm and helps other people find our community. But in general, I hope you have a wonderfully blessed and goal-driven week, my beautiful sisters.